So in my previous video, I talked about how to write the perfect GCSE English literature analysis paragraphs that will get you those top marks every single time using this structure, and more specifically the explanation part, including technique, context, theme, and reader or audience effect, which is super important. This is what separates the students that are stuck at grade 3, 4, or 5 versus those that get those 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s every single time. Now, I shared this, and now what I'm going to be doing now is going over how it's actually applied to a past paper question. So I'm going to be looking at this past paper question: how does Shakespeare present Macbeth's fears? And I've highlighted the keywords Macbeth's fears. I'm looking at Macbeth because majority of schools have that as a set text, but of course you can use this approach for any set text and any literature text that you're studying. Now, as you can see, I have color coded the different steps in my model paragraph. So I'm going to walk you through it. So number one, I'll start off with my point in blue. Macbeth is deeply fearful when he considers the witch's prophecies that Banquo's children will be kings. Despite being king, he feels rage that his efforts to kill Duncan may only pave the way for Banquo's children to be kings. I've started off with my point and grounded my discussion firmly in the question's keywords. Then I'll move on to red, which is my evidence. Macbeth is frustrated that mine eternal jewel will not go to heaven, yet Banquo's children will be kings, the seeds of Banquo's kings. Now I have embedded two quotations and I have used that to frame my discussion. Now I'm going to go into the most important part of my paragraph, which is my explanation, where I'm going to talk about technique, I'm going to talk about context or themes, and also audience or reader effect. So I've started off my explanation by talking about technique. Macbeth speaks using the iambic pentameter when reflecting on the fact that he's gone against God and killed Duncan, his representative on earth, and hence his eternal jewel, which is his life, will go to hell. He repetitively speaks of Banquo's children being kings because it's clear that he's consumed his ambition to maintain power over Scotland as king. Obviously, I end by touching very briefly on theme. However, what I've done in this opening part is mention iambic pentameter and repetition, which is technique, and explained and discussed the effect. Now, step number 2, I talk about theme. Shakespeare uses the theme of ambition to present it as Macbeth's hamartia. It has a terrible corrupting influence as Macbeth has become a fearful person as a result of gratifying his desire and lust for power. And step number 3, I unpack audience effect. A Jacobean audience would have realised with alarm the destructive nature of ambition when watching this play. Shakespeare reinforced to them how following ambition was corrupting in its influence on Macbeth, as it led him to go from being brave and loyal to fearful and anxious, as he's only focused on maintaining his power. Then of course I finish off with my link. Consequently, it's clear that Macbeth is extremely fearful, as his ambition led him to become obsessed with maintaining power. And that's really it. And I'm going to be going over this in much more detail during my February half-term masterclasses. This is in 2026, so feel free to sign up and join.